Cookies for you. Will my fingers do? In your pants. Blue speaker in my car this morning. That sucked. He was a motivational speaker though, so, you know, well, he did leave a bad taste in my mouth. I do feel a little more positive. Space draft. I had that dream again last night. You know the one where you're the Prime Minister of Australia and you're trying to raise funds to build a koala refuge because those poor little bastards are too damn high to look after themselves. And to raise the funds, you decide that you're going to box a kangaroo. Now, because you are not native to Australia, you are not aware of the fighting skills of kangaroos, wherein all of Australia is. Now, as a result of this, you get your bitch ass knocked out. And to cover the debt of the bets, you bankrupt the country and are thusly exiled to a tiny island. Whilst on that tiny island, you are visited by Norwegian fishermen, and you tell them your story. And they are so amused by what has happened to you that you become a tourist site. And soon there are dozens, literal dozens of drunken Norwegian sailors dressed like kangaroos mocking your very existence. You know the dream. So I started seeing this girl, and you know, she's not my girlfriend, but don't tell her that because she'll hurt me. And she's into role playing. You know, I have a tail. So she's like, oh, let's do sexy babysitter. And I'm like, hell yeah, let's do sexy babysitter. Hold on a tick. We don't have a baby. Well, a quick trip to Walmart solved that problem, and little bugger put up quite a fight, so we drugged him and put him to bed. She then proceeded to be the babysitter, and I came home from a night of debauchery because we all know that the trans life is nothing but a hedonistic party of joy and delight. So I come home from my night of hedonism and, well, there's the babysitter lying on the couch and I'm all, how you doing? And she's all, oh, I lost my pants. Well, long story short, somebody at the Walmart was smart enough to write down our license plate. Role-playing's hard. Do you know Elmo Pimp's House? I think I already did that one. Look, a clever diversion over your left shoulder. It might possibly be a bear. No, I'm pretty sure it's there. Keep looking. Sexy police officer. It's not as sexy as one would think. We thought we'd give it a go. I mean, we were already at the police station, so the scene was set. So I'm the nasty criminal. Classy bitches. And she's the rough and tough, grew up on the streets police officer, and she takes me down to the ground and she jams her knee into my neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. It's a little political humor. Kobe Bryant once saved the United States from a civil war. But I won't tell that story because I just made a terrible, fucking terrible political joke, and yeah, I should probably stop talking about visible minorities. Although, to be fair, Dave Chappelle talks about me. Just saying. I think we should all be allowed to make fun of each other, as long as it is in jest, and only jest. My joke, however, was not in jest. That was strictly poor taste. It was funny. It was pop culture relevant. But if I had a television show, there would be an inappropriate hashtag trending right now, calling for the demise of my show. Schoolgirl was an interesting one. Did you know that a 27-year-old woman in a schoolgirl outfit and pigtails looks an awful lot like a 17-year-old girl with pigtails in a schoolgirl outfit? And when one finds themselves in a situation where they are looking at someone who, well, not physically, but visibly is playing the role of someone young enough to be that person's daughter, the only reasonable response is for that person to jump out the bloody window, which is what I did. Don't look at me like that. What the hell would you have done? That's fucking disgusting, man. You're daft. You're bloody daft. Nurse was a complete and total failure in every level possible. Turns out that when you see, what happened was we decided to do Sexy Nurse, so we went to the hospital and she ever so casually procured a nurse's uniform from a nurse who had suddenly fallen asleep in a bathroom stall. got herself some medical papers and she wrote me up a little prescription because, oh, we're themed, you know. We take our role-playing very seriously, don't you know? Well, when you go to a pharmacy with a fake prescription, they stall for time. And while they're stalling for time, the same police officer that caught you abducting a child to sleep in your house while you had sex because you're a sick bitch is now arresting you for pretending to be a nurse, forging a prescription, and going to a pharmacy to, you know, get your prescription on it. This police officer happens to have a social media account. It's not the last time I ran into him. But I suppose that's a story for another day, now isn't it? Oh dear God, the bear is back! Well, I will admit that a bear is terrifying. I present to you that something more terrifying would be a bear wearing a mask. Because if a bear is wearing a mask, then you know that bear's up to no good. Because that bear's hiding his identity. You can't see in your pants. Because a bear really has two expressions. The first is which bother. You know what, I think I'm just going to choke to death live here. Isn't it lovely? Yes, lovely, lovely. Because a bear only really has two expressions, you see. He's either which in bear language roughly translates to suckers gots to know. And the other look is rah.
Don't bother trying to get out of here. You'll never get out of here.
And if a bear gives you that look, not only does it mean suckers gots to know, but it means suckers going to die. I prefer to know the difference. Thus, I find a bear in a mask more frightening than a bear without one. I know you didn't look to see if there was a bear, but humor me. Well, my fingers do. Space giraffe.